engaged. Last year, virtually the same 1,000 employees implemented 34,000 ideas and saved $2 million. Now, if that's the number of ideas that they implemented, I have to think that they had at least 2 or 3 times more ideas that were actually delivered to management or delivered to teams for review. And that's really what happens when you engage your workforce. And Gulfstream did a great job of that. Now, I could have put the volumes and volumes of information behind that and how they did that, how they got to their workforce, but really the key is just asking them. And that's a big factor in lean, is just go out and ask the people who are doing the job. Ask them what they can do better. Ask them what kinds of things they think are absolutely nuts that we do on a daily basis, and they'll always tell you. So really it comes down to engaging your employees. And Toyota has this system, and I should back up here before I go into that. Toyota has a system, ideas are mandatory. And they use it as a performance metric. So, we all get judged on our performance, and hopefully you will all fill out your cards that I did a decent job here today. We all get judged on our performance. And it's not by how many parts we produce, it's a group of things. But at Toyota, one of the factors that they judge folks on is the number of ideas that they submitted in the prior review period. And that's huge, because they've started a culture where people are very, very engaged, and they want to deliver ideas, and they want to improve their process because it makes their job easier, and because the company will listen. So really, I think a great way to get started is to ask your employees to submit an idea per week. Now, if the first time you do that, it's going to be interesting, because the first idea that you'll get is probably, how about we stop asking for ideas? Yeah. But once you can engage folks to do that and get a stream going of ideas, ask them then how to make their job easier. People will usually respond to that one. That's a good first question. How to make their work more interesting. And that doesn't include, going out to lunch at Rosebud and all the other fine places we have here in Schaumburg. But improve skills and capabilities. As far as lean goes, that's a great thing to consider for folks. When people are providing these ideas, and I know our friends like Michael Ogden, for example, very good at engaging his workforce and then using that to improve the skills and capabilities of his workforce. And he does that with the local college. So Michael Ogden at Nation Pizza has partnered with Harvard. Mike starts a feedback loop with his people. How do we do, but we make it better? And then Harvard on the back end goes and says, well, we can do that because we can train folks to do this, and it's a great loop for innovation. How to improve the work environment? Espresso machines. Productivity and coffee. And then how to help the organization reduce costs, things like improve quality. Safety, I put that one higher. Some people put that first, some put it last. But improve throughput, and then customer service. There's no particular order for those. But. So in going through it, once again, Tanya was looking at the presentation, and she said, I love that one. Stop right there, stop. Well, this was a great example of a client engagement I had where I was sitting with the CEO and the CFO, and we were talking about engaging the workforce and ideas, and how ideas are the innovation engine behind the growth of a company, and how you can be more profitable if you just ask for those ideas. I said, take a note. I want one of those boxes that with the lock on it so that no one else can see the ideas. And I want to hang that in the cafeteria. And so we had to stop, but that's what they ended up with. A dark box with a lock on it that ends up in a cafeteria where no one wants to see anybody else putting an idea in there, because they know that's the bad guy. That's the guy who's going to change everything, because now we're going to have to do something different. And I'll bet they get looked at maybe on a monthly basis. But this makes it visual. This is how you get that idea flow going, where that column says ideas, this one says to do, this one says doing, and that one says done. And it's just quite simply an idea board. And what happens here, and I watch these folks at this company, they'd come in and some were sheepish, some would go to the board and they kind of glance over. They didn't want to know for sure if anyone was looking at them, checking out the ideas. But eventually someone would go and they'd pick up the sheet and they'd say, man, that's a great idea. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to champion this one. And it was everybody in the company, from the folks who did facilities management all the way up to the C-level executives, would walk in, and if they could champion any one of those ideas, they would be the person who carries the torch for that idea. So they would grab that idea, they would start a group, and they would start talking about, how do we make this idea executable? And how do we take that idea to the point where we can roll it out across the company, and then it would end up over here. And when these became part of the culture, they'd come off the board because it was no longer necessary to have a reminder of why we do those ideas. So just a opposite ends of the spectrum idea for ideas. So I know I struggled with this one a little bit, because when I was telling Tanya about my idea of how to convey the correlation between economic development and going lean principles. Not the very detailed Toyota production systems or Harada and all these other disciplines, but quite simply, how do you increase productivity so they can make more money, or you have more time to invest in your community, more money to invest in your community. So I was telling Tanya, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, stop! That's terrible. It's too many calculations and too many numbers." So I wrote it out. And really, it's helping businesses become more productive. So conservatively, if we take 4,500 businesses in Schaumburg, and we said if each employee at every Schaumburg business could gain just 5 minutes of productive time, that's 5 minutes per day per employee, every Schaumburg business, each one of those businesses would get another 12, a little more than half days per year of productivity. Well, we all ask that question, or mutter to ourselves sometimes, if I just had one more day. If I could just get one more day to get some things done. Well, there's 12.67. And it's easy enough to do. World class is 45 minutes. The rule of thumb is that every employee of every company really has 45 minutes per day of unproductive time. So I wanted to talk about a few key concepts just to kind of burn those into your brain so that we can all leave here, and all of us, and please, no bad phone calls. If you have a bad experience, call Tanya. But these are the key concepts that I really want folks to take away and remember, so that when you're thinking about the first steps of going lean and just removing waste from your process, don't even call it lean. Just say, I'm going to take out some waste today. It's leadership. And someone's got to take the ball and lead. It doesn't have to be a C-level executive. If you have someone in your organization that is really excited about what they're doing, put that person there. Put that person in there and ask them for their ideas. And I almost guarantee that will be infectious, and that person will inspire other folks to do the same thing and help wipe out lean in your organization. Encourage ideas. Ask people for their ideas. And I don't know how they say it is. There's no dumb ideas, only dumb people, something like that. But that doesn't apply here, so don't use that one. Encourage ideas. If they're the world's worst idea, deal with that. I don't know. 5 whys. I don't know if anyone, has anyone ever heard of this technique, 5 whys? I got Tom Anderson back there. I know he's heard of that. Anyone else, 5 whys? This is the best one. And kids use it all the time. Have you ever said, we're going to Great America tomorrow? Why? Well, because we want to have fun. Well, why? Because we've got free tickets. They're on the back of a Pepsi can. Why? And they keep going on. They keep going on and on with this why. But they're going to get to the root cause. Whatever it is for them, they're going to figure it out. And that's really what we need to do as business leaders, is to always keep asking why until we get to the root cause. And the trick here is not to directly target the waste. So if you have a waste that comes down to dollars and cents, it's not about just removing that waste. It's about going one why deeper and removing the root cause for that waste, which might be just an operational thing that says, well, Jim's got to look at everything we do, he's got to sign off, and I got to get his approval on that. Well, that's not necessary. But that's how you get that kind of waste. So 5 why everything, and it's really just keeping to asking why until you get to the root cause. And then finally is keep it simple. We've got friends like IMEC, for example. Ronaldo, as I said, if you haven't met him, seek him out if you're looking to take your business to the next level of lean. You don't have to go and read the books and go to courses and seminars and things like that. Just keep it simple and try to find ways to remove waste. So things that you can do today. Engage your employees, all employees, everybody. Challenge people to create a new product or service. This is a great one because we all deliver a product, we all deliver a service of some type. Ask somebody to dream up their ultimate product for your company, and you'll get some innovative things. There's been project engines where companies have said, if you could build a product with the machine tools that we have, what would it be? And people have come up with some exotic things. One of the best I ever heard was, I was working with the company that makes the Stinger missiles. And Stinger missiles are hit or miss, sorry. You don't know if you're going to need 1,000 Stinger missiles this week or none for the next several months. So one of their employees came up with this thing, well, you know, I was looking at our processes and I'm a paintball guy. I'll bet we can make those paintball tanks on the same lines that we make the Stinger missiles. Well, that company now makes paintball air tanks right next to Stinger missiles. And you can almost guess which one's more profitable. So, ask folks to tell you what types of products that they think that they can come up with for your company. Again, question everything. And start seeing waste. We all do it. I do it. It's one of those things that just kind of builds up, and you have to take a step back and say, do I really need to do that? Think holistic, company-wide. Everybody, everything is fair game when it comes to lean. The low-hanging fruit, that's all across the company. And of course, ask for ideas.